Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her. It is Thursday the 19th of September today. I'm a week late in what I usually film. It's been 3 weeks, normally I do 2 weeks. But I've got a ton to show. Which I didn't really think I had, so that's good. I kind of feel all a fluster because there's just stuff everywhere. But first things first, I need a drink. Second thing second, I don't really know. Why didn't I film last week? Because I was at a work conference and it was Anna's kind of first full week at school, so I hadn't had much time to stitch. So I've done a little bit more stitching this week. I still feel like I haven't got back into my groove or like found my new routine in Anna's new routine. I'm quite tired by it all, so when she's going to bed I'm just like zoning out, scrolling my phone, which I probably shouldn't. So yeah, I don't know. My tarot, maybe we'll talk about this together because I feel like it's, I don't know. So I pulled 2 cards, one for like looking back at the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks in this case, and one for looking forward. So the one that I pulled for looking back was the 6 of Pentacles. It says generosity, charity, community, material help, support, sharing, giving and receiving, gratitude. Maybe? Yeah? I don't know. I don't feel like I've been... 6 of Pentacles, like you could be both these people, you could be this person here, like kind of giving the thing, and or these people here like receiving. And maybe I'll talk about this one too, because this is what I pulled for looking forward, which is the 5 of Pentacles, which is kind of the before of the 6 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles, hardship, loss, isolation, feeling abandoned, adversity, struggle, unemployment, alienation, disgrace. So you're kind of in the journey of the tarot. You're supposed to go from here and like you're in need of help and then you accept the help. But I have been helping, or I have been helped, and now I'm gonna feel like I'm not being helped. I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me, this one, as much as some of my other ones do, so I'm gonna work on it, think about this a bit as maybe I go through the filming and see if anything clicks. But there we go. Let me know if that resonated with you. I didn't really do a good job of explaining it, but I'm gonna be like bending down a lot and reaching and stuff, so I apologise in advance for that. I'll try and cut out as much of the groans as possible as I stretch and probably click my back at some point. Right. What I'm into. Not a lot, it seems. Like I say, kind of Anna's school has kind of taken up a lot of time. Not time, more like mental energy, you know. I've been watching a lot of like old period dramas. I went and watched like Pride and Prejudice, the good version, aka the BBC series with Colin Firth. I did watch the Keira Knightley version, remembered that I didn't like that as much and had to go back and watch the Colin Firth version to kind of cleanse my palate. Watched Emma, don't like that one as much. just been watching stuff or listening to my podcasts and stuff. Not a whole lot, but in terms of stitching, I've been finishing. So, and I'm like excited about this because I never finish stuff, and I'm on like this finishing kick. Like, I have plans for finishing, and it's exciting. So I have been finishing a lot of stuff. As you can see, it's not very well. I'm not like displaying them very well. I finished my Prim Animals series. I'll pick up one, or hopefully not all of them will tumble. So, not too long ago, I finished stitching this series. This is, they're all separate patterns from the Primitive Hare. And I changed the colours and I added like personalizations, like it was supposed to be stitched with an embroidery hoop, but I've like added an actual mini embroidery hoop and 1/1 stitching on 56 count. And I've done that across them all. So wool has like tiny little balls of wool, cotton has little skeins of cotton, and silk has a bobbin with silk wrapped around. So that's all the stitching. If you want to know the colour conversion, I have it noted somewhere, so I can share that with you. And they're on a 32 count, 36. Can't remember. I know that as well. If you need to know, it was like an antique white that I tea dyed and then got some instant coffee granules and just while it was still wet just kind of sprinkled it on and let it like dissolve a little bit and sit there for a while, and then I rinsed it off, so it kind of has this mottling, but it's not super. I love it. I was really pleased with how that came out. So the finishing, like, I don't even know how to talk about it because I never finish stuff. So I knew that I wanted them on these chopping boards or a board of some kind. That's how the models are finished on the front, and I really liked that. Instead of just a frame, which I normally just stick everything in a frame or a hoop, usually held together with masking tape. And that's about as much as I do. So, yeah, I finished all of these, and the plan was to get my husband to make something kind of out of wood that I could put these on. He's not a carpenter or a woodworker particularly, but he would like to tinker with things. If I asked him, he probably would, but it might take him some time, and I think he'd feel a lot of pressure to do it kind of perfect. And there's a new shop that's opened in Newcastle. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Swedish, I think. Sosteren Green. I'll put it up here. They're kind of European. It's kind of like IKEA, but a bit more girly, and lots of just little trinkets and things. Really cute, like just nice. So I was in there and I saw these little chopping boards and I thought, oh, that looks like a kind of a good size, I wonder. So I came home and measured these guys that were finished just in there on the linen. And I was like, yeah, I think I could make that work. And then it's just, I'm just buying the chopping boards kind of already done. And it's like thick, chunky wood. It's very nice. For not an unreasonable price. So I'd actually been into town. I got another frame for another thing that I'm going to show you that I finished. And And I came home and Alex was like, I want to go into town to look at some other things. So we kind of did a swap over. On like, I literally got off the train. He got on the train with my ticket to use again. We swapped Anna over. I took Anna home. I came home, I looked online to check the dimensions of this, checked that this would work, and I said, hey, go to this shop and pick me up these, please. So I came home with 4. And yeah, they're pretty perfect. So what I did, I'll take this off because I have this like metal tape that is just adhered onto the board, just because I want to stick it directly on if I want to change this for whatever reason, or I want to use this for a different thing. So I just stuck some magnets on the back and it's got a board there. And then I can, like, you know, mess around with how high I want it, how low I want it, whatever. So, first thing I did was I cut out some foam core board to kind of a dimension that was kind of going to fit. Then I pinned oh no, I got some batting in there as well to make it a little bit squidgy. It's not particularly squidgy, it just makes it kind of nice and smooth. Yeah, I pinned it, and then I had this is paper ribbon, in a cream and a burgundy red kind of thing. I've had it for ages, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I thought about pom-poms, I thought about lace, but these colours just really worked. So I corded it. First time I've corded things. Used Alex's drill to like twist it, because I don't have the tool that you actually use to do it. Plus, with it being paper, it kind of needed a little bit of a stronger thing. So it worked. It worked. So yeah, corded, and I pinned the linen to the board, and I thought the pin might hold the cording as well, but it did not. That was immediately no, so I had to tack this to the linen. It's very shoddy, but I'm not bothered. I was gonna lace the back, but that's my lovely masking tape. You can't take my masking tape from me. And then where the cording matches at the top, I knew I wanted it to match at the top because of the hole, whatever I was gonna cover where the cord matches, wherever I was gonna cover that, I wanted it at the top, so I'd have some space to do whatever, rather than kind of at the bottom and have to put something over the bottom. Anyway, so that's matched right there. And then, so that sat for a while just like that, and then I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna cover it with. Asked a few friends. Imogen suggested buttons, because I was like, I could have spools or like more little hoops, but then it's like, you've already got a spool there, none of the others have spools. This already has a hoop, doesn't need more hoops. But there's buttons kind of go with the haberdashery kind of feel. So I found these wooden ones in the middle. And they're like what I think they call them military style buttons, so it's like 2 long holes rather than 4 little holes, or 2 little holes. So the ribbon, this is felt actually. I settled on felt. I had a few different options for what would kind of run through the button, but everybody that I asked decided on the felt. So I bought the one big button. I bought a pack of them because I needed several. So there was a pack. And then I decided I probably needed something to balance it out as well, kind of. I don't know. So then I had to find more buttons that were military style with like the 2 slits to make it look similar. So I find these smaller ones that aren't the same style, and they're like coconut shell, I think. So they've got some like texture to them. So I had to buy several packs of those to get similar colours. For all, I needed 8 of them. So I got a lot of buttons if anyone needs buttons now. But yeah, I think that was it. So I just stuck the magnets straight onto the foam core, stuck the metal tape here, and then it's like, it's not going anywhere, but you can move it around to get it in a nice configuration, because I kind of wanted it square at the bottom. I'll tweak it. And then Alex drilled a hole in the back, like a recessed hole, so I can put a nail in the wall and hang it on, and it'll flush against the wall rather than a hook on the handle of the chopping board, or you know, it's sticking out and like wobbling against the wall. So that's, I won't show you all of them up close, but that's, I had to do that 4 times over. Some of them look better than others, but it's fine. I'm really happy with them. I'm really proud that I got that done. So I'm not putting them on the wall here because the room where I am now it's kind of our spare room / my office. Was kind of both our offices, but now Alex has this job. He's not working from home as much, so we just need like one desk that we can share. He has a PC for his photography editing stuff, so he'd still be able to use the desk. But anyway, Anna is currently in the smaller room, so we're going to move her into here so she has a bigger room growing up, and I can have my crafty office in the smaller room. We've kind of decided not to have a spare bed. The bed that we have in here at the minute is one that is like a trundle bed, so it like goes into a double bed, so if we have guests they could sleep in Anna's bed and Anna could be in with us, or go sleep at grandma's house or whatever. The amount of times that we have visitors to sleep here is not a lot. When Alex's parents come to stay, they stay at a hotel. You know, and we'll kind of be able to make it work whenever any of our friends come. So yeah, I'm going to be moving. Don't know when. We did go to IKEA the other day, and I was looking at storage for cross stitch because we have wardrobes in here, but they will be Anna's wardrobe, so I have to get all of my stuff out of there and move it. So yeah, I don't want to hang these in here just to move them again. So I don't have the mental capacity to think about the move right now. We don't have to do it all in one fell swoop, but if we're doing it, I kind of want to decorate in here because it's still just white. I'll have to fill in all of these holes that I've made. Kind of, yeah. I don't know about that right now, but yeah. That was my big FFO. I mean, I don't know that I'll have another FFO this big this kind of complicated. I'll show you my next one now, and we'll go back to regular schedule of shove it in a frame with some masking tape. So on that journey, or the visit into town that day, I went to TK Maxx. I think you guys have TK Maxx in America? TJ Maxx, do you call it? Something like that. It's all the same. It's like discounted designer stuff and X stock of different places and, you know, that kind of stuff. So they have like loads of frames, and they usually have kind of bit, like they have like their really tiny frames for tiny stitching. Not for tiny stitching, but that I'm interested in because of that. And then they have like the big art frames. Usually there's something in them and I rip them out and use them for a different thing. But they had this like frame and it said cocktails on it or something. And I was like, but that's a nice size. I have something that's long and narrow. So I got out my Notion app on my phone and looked at the dimensions of my lesson 1 by Plum Street Samplers. And I had been to the Swedish shop and got a new tape measure. So I just happened to have a tape measure with me so I could measure the frame, because it was like it's just supposed to be, you buy it and you put it on the wall. It's not for framing. But yeah, it was just about perfect. So I picked it up and I framed lesson 1 for £7. I was so happy, thinking I had to take this one to the framers because it's an odd size. Nope. If you keep a note, whether you use Notion or just your notes app in your phone, of this is the size of frame that I might need, you could find a frame somewhere random. So yeah, so I came home with this that day, and then Alex came home with the chopping board later in the day. But this is a fully finished object too. Again, haven't put it on the wall. I don't know that this is specifically a Halloween thing. I'd have it up year round. I'd probably put it above the door. It's a good thing to have above the door. Trick or treat, stitches neat or prickly needle stick your feet. Reminds me to use my needle minders because Alex hates it when I lose my needles and he potentially steps on them. So it's a good reminder. But yeah, I was so pleased with this. They only had one, so I came home and then decided I needed to look at all of my finishes and decide what needed a frame, what needed to be taken to the framers. And this size I think will do for my singer sampler piece that I'm doing all in a row. So I went to a different branch of TK Maxx and found the same frame again. So I picked that up along with a little round frame that will be good for Mother's Arms when I finish it, because I'm just doing the little round section of it. I think I picked up another frame as well, just because it was an odd size, but I don't have anything in mind for it right now. But it's worth it to have it in my stash for when I finish something. So yeah. So yeah, I picked up another one of those frames. If it doesn't work for Singer Sampler, I'll give it to Megan, who is coming to visit next year, because she took my my chart for lesson 1. So if she does it on 40 count, she has a perfect size frame for it. So I have to finish Singer Sampler before October of 25. So I know whether I need the frame or not. So then I'm on a finishing streak. I picked up these, what do you call them? Magnetic poster frames, I think they're called. They're just, it's 2 pieces of wood with magnets on them. And, you know, we use needle minders on our fabric, so we know that magnets on fabric works somewhat. I picked these up at Lidl, I think, when I was doing my shopping. They were on sale for like £1, so I bought 2 because I've been looking at them for a while, wondering if they're actually any good. And they seem to be, for just, you know, 4 pieces of wood and some magnets, and a string. So when I was getting everything out to look at everything that I needed to finish, this is my After the Roses ink circles round robin. This is not the finish that I'm just finishing, but it's just nice to display it instead of being in a box. So it's out to look at, which is lovely. But I'm waiting for my second ink circles round robin piece to come back, because I'll get them framed the same, because they're both flowery and I did the kind of same palette, so I want them to kind of sit together. But this will be a 9-inch square and my other one will be an 8-inch square. So that's that. Not an FFO, but just in the finishing genre. I kind of have another FFO. I didn't stitch this. This was gifted to me by Beck at Stitch North. They just were giving out Quirky Quakers to some friends, and they gave this one to me, and when I pulled everything out, it was just there, and I'm like, I need to finish this. So I ordered just this little 3-inch flexi hoop, so I can hang it somewhere at Christmas. This is the Quirky Quaker Reindeer by Darling and Whimsy. So I've literally I need to get my box of felt down to put something on the back. But like, for just ordering a £2 flexi hoop and putting it in, it means this isn't stuck in a box somewhere, you know? So that's another one. And then I've just decided to take everything else to the framers. So I'm going to show you now. These are like old finishes, but I'm going to take them to the framers with my mum. Not on Saturday, next weekend. Because I finished these 3 county canvas pieces for her. So I took them around the other day because I don't think she'd seen them all together finished at the stitching, and her reaction warrants taking them to the framer like immediately. She was very excited. So they're all kind of on this blue theme. I don't know whether she wants them framed with the same frame or different frames, different parts of the house that she'll put them in. I don't know. But again, you can see they're curled because I like rolled them up in my big roll of finishes. So she's going to get these 3 framed and I'm going to get 2 of mine framed. So I apologise to the framer for my for the border on the edge here. This was finished in 2001. This is Needleworker by Plum Street as well. So again, I would like this for my new crafty room, because I'm going to make it like a proper crafty room / my office, secondary my office. But why is this just in a box? It's a shame. So that's one to take. I hope the margins will be okay. And then this one is even more embarrassing. This one I finished in Christmas Eve 2020. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Sue Hillis. Done on like sparkly raw linen. I mean, look at that back stitching on the holly. That's a lot of work. Why is it in a box? Why has it been in a box for like almost 4 years? And every Christmas I think, oh, I should get that framed. So I'm just going to go and get it framed and think about the money later. And then I think that will be all my finishes that are currently finished. And then everything else I'm gonna have at least a plan for. Because that's 4 years nearly that's been sat in a box. And it's not as if it's like, oh, I didn't really like it, I don't want to get it framed. I really want to get it framed. So I have to just make the decision to go get it framed. So yeah, I think that's all my finishes. Stitching wise, actual stitching that I've done. I had a finish. I suppose this is a fully finished as well because this is all I'm doing on it. This is Ink Circles Elemental Dragons Earth. This is Nathy's project. We are in team 40 count, Fellowship of the Withywindle. Myself, Nathy, Stitchy Nathy, Kim, Crafty Teacher DIYs, and Julicious, Knitney Knits, that's what I was trying to remember, who is hosting this whole second most magnificent circles round robin. I can't believe there's only one to go. It feels like we started this yesterday. I think because Julia's piece got lost for so long. Maybe I feel like I hadn't started it. Like started the round robin. But yeah, this is due to go out next Friday. So I wanted to finish this to show you guys before it went off on its jaunt to Kim. I need to find some chocolates for Kim because she said she wanted some and I think I can get them here for her. So this might be going with some chocolates. So yeah, anyway, this is 40 count. I can't remember. I feel like Nathy's told me what fabric this is and I've forgotten and I haven't put it in my Notion. No, I can't remember. But it's done with just DMC 3799 and DMC something else. $3814. And I think it's beautiful. It was really fun to work on. Really quick, it seemed, even though it doesn't feel like it would be. I was a bit nervous that I wouldn't have time, you know, with doing Anna's stuff and but yeah, I finished it. I think I only put it in Notion twice, but I definitely had more stitching sessions than that. Even though it was quick, it was not 2 sessions quick. So yeah, this will go to Kim and it'll get finished. And that makes me excited to get Kim's next. Because they had like a really cool Bestitch Me conversion of something. I can't remember. Kim's is always exciting. and then I'll be able to get mine back from Julia and then get these framed. I think I could just get a standard 9-inch square frame and an 8-inch square frame. I don't think I need to take that to the professional frame. No, that's not professional. Professional framers. I was going to say real framers. I didn't mean to slight the framers. So, whips. So it's been 3 weeks, but I feel like I haven't stitched much. So, not a lot of progress, which I hope to rectify. So, oh, my chatelaine, my amazing, oh god, that's huge. Amazing lavender kaleidoscope. Lavender garden kaleidoscope. I can't remember what the actual name is. This is on 32 count. Silvery Moon. That's what I got. I got an itch, but I've got makeup on. So this was my plans from last video to stitch on this, and the goal for the year on this is to finish page 9. And I haven't done that. Like you can see, I've only really done this little bit. This is what I've done. So I'm not really happy with that, so I'm going to keep it out for the next 2 weeks and work on it a bit more and hopefully get the page finished. But I think I only worked on it one time in the last 3 weeks, so I'm not very happy with that. I'm very happy with the whole thing. Does it look pretty? I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I want to see some good progress on that for next time I show you. Next, not in order of when I worked on it, just what's here. Megan, Stitchy, and I had a visit, a Zoomy visit, to work on our Angel of Love. We're both working on Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace. And Megan has been working very, very hard recently. So decided that a weekend of becoming a stitching blob, I think was her words. I don't think I'm slighting her. I don't want to slight people by saying that. So we decided to have a visit, and normally we visit like early morning her time, afternoon my time. Usually on a Saturday, we'd have a couple of hours and then we'd tune in to watch Michelle Bendy's live Flosstube because we're both patrons. But because Michelle and lots of others were at Pinwis, we had the whole day. So we spent about 6 hours, more than 6 hours maybe, on the zooming, stitching, sitting in lovely silence sometimes, which is just nice, but having a lovely visit. First half of my afternoon, until Anna came home from her granddad's, and then my mum wanted to visit with Anna, so I took Anna round to my mum's, came home and jumped straight back on the Zoom with Megan, so we had a little bit of a break, but otherwise it was, yeah, total of 6+ hours, where we worked on, yeah, Angel of Love. And I finished my 50th row, which was my goal for the whole year, which is ridiculous because I would never have done that if it weren't for our Angel of Love Zoom. So thank you, Megan. Owe that all to you. But yeah, excuse the frame and the clips and everything. It's staying like this for the foreseeable. So yeah, here I think is the 50th row. So all of this is beaded, stitched, metalliced. This is on a 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. Just a brown kind of colour, it's fine. So I've put it on a 14 by 11 Q-snap now, because she's a bit wide. I think this is about as wide as she gets, like right here. My working copy kind of cut off this side somewhat, so I had to go off the real pattern. You know, like looking, like unfold it, like looking at a giant road map. But yeah, I think a 14 is fine width-wise, and then so I'll get another about 50 rows in this 11, and then I'll add another bit on the top for a 14, and then I might get to a 17, and then maybe I'll have to unclamp the bottom to do maybe the top of her halo, depending. I haven't done the maths on that quite yet. But yeah, so I'm doing everything as I go from the bottom. My kind of general rule is I'm doing the DMC in a row, going back and doing the Krynic, then going back and doing the beads, then move on to the next row. You know, with some kind of, I'll take it wherever it needs to go to use the floss. But there are so many beads, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. I think this one will be taken to the framers the weekend that I finish it, because this cannot sit somewhere idly. In however many years it takes me to get there, but yes, on the finishing on the finishing kick, I don't want this to stay around. This needs to be on a wall. So yeah, that's my Angel of Love. It's hard to do it justice on the camera. I took a macro photo on my Instagram if you want to see that. But yeah, thanks to Megan for sitting with me, and go check out Megan's Instagram as well. She's doing it from the top. So at some point we'll have one completed project. But hers looks fabulous, the face and the wings and everything. I'm very jealous. Oh, I finished my first reel of Krynic as well. The gold. So I have another, that's 10 meters in that first 50 rows. It's like 280, no. Yeah, 280, something like that, rows up. And obviously I'm just done the little bottom, so I think I might need a few more rolls. Before I finish. It doesn't tell you how many you need, which is a little bit annoying. Although I did see that Krynic are now producing them on the cards, like the Petite Treasure braid. I don't know how long that'll take to filter through where I usually get my Krynic from, but I'm very excited about that. Less plastic waste and easier to store, I think, unless you've set up a system of spools. But I think just, you know, you think of the transportation costs of the spools versus the flat cards. I'm very excited for cards. Anywho's, Next, plants and petrichor. So I did drop 2, which was these little vases or whatever they are up there. And then I started on drop 3, which is this cushion that's on a bench or something. I need to do the bench as well because I didn't do all the frames in the first, in like the frame drop. So I've got a little bit to do on that. There'll be another drop tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to work on this too. This is on 20 count even weave forest green by Spygart. It's the same that I did the Femurs and Fungi Sal on. I think it goes this way. So I'll frame it in the same. I bought another size of those frames, hoop frames, and I'll just do it the other way, and I'll have to like drill a little hole and move the little hook that it sits on. But yeah, this is so much fun. Like, the colours are amazing. It's gonna look amazing when it's all finished and together like that. I thought we might get some plants on that second drop. But yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. I just, if she comes out with another, oh, this is fine frog stitching, by the way, if you didn't know. If she comes out with another Sal, it's going to be really hard to resist. But I think I need to not do any more Sals or round robins or anything like that, because I feel like I don't have enough time, and I'm looking at my board of all my whips and I'm like, there's too much to do. That's how I'm feeling, and that's my kind of level at where I am now in my life, and at like 33 whips or something. I'm back. Alex came home from work. He didn't tell me that he was coming home early. Bounded through the door, being loud. Anyway, I put my hair up because it's annoying me. What was I saying? Anyway, I don't know what I was saying, so we're just going to move on. So Serbian proverb, Trina and I are selling this Serbian proverb by La Di Da. And we crashed Megan's Lord of the Rings Zoom. So we could work on this together. So I only work on this on the Zooms. So I got pretty far. I'll maybe do it before. I don't think I've been doing befores. I don't think I've given myself a chance to do it before. So this is on 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus, and I'm just kind of pulling colours that speak to me, basically. She looks a bit muted, but this is nice. I like it. I have a list of the colours if you want to know, but I can't remember off the top of my head. This is a Karen Water Lilies, the silk. There's some Cottage Garden threads. There's some bits of just stuff from my stash, but I love it. Ignore the wonkiness. It is stitched straight. It's just wonky, my Q-snap. I'm gonna have to sort out the Q-snap for next time I work on it. But yeah, loving that one. I seem to have lost all of my energy. And then the last thing I worked on was Stitch for Pride, September. I had my notes because I did my learning. I like to do my learning first so I get an idea of what I'm stitching, who I'm stitching. So let me grab my notes. La 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 la. So if you don't know, this is Stitch for Pride, a year-long sale, designed and hosted by Dee of Dee's 20 Stitches. It's a motif a month based on a 2S LGBTQIA plus artist. So we're learning about a lot of artists, about a lot of their creations, which is really fun. So for September, we got to learn about Lehua Ukae. I apologise if I mispronounce, but I do try. Is a Mahu mixed native Hawaiian from Papaiʻikoa on the Big Island. So I'm like, I love this artist, never heard of them before, but the few articles that I've read and the videos that I've watched that Dee gives us links for, like, I feel like I need a piece of their art. It just speaks to me so, like, you know? Like, they say, like, what if you could have a piece of an artist's work, this would definitely be up with them. So I will link below to, it's like an hour long like webinar they did, that's a really good basis point, and go do your own research on them. But they're Mahau, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is like the native Hawaiian word for non-binary, you know, between man and woman. So that was really interesting to learn about how that's expressed in their culture. But also, like, the actual art that they do is they make it on bark cloth, which is like, it's a fibre, and then the way that they make the actual cloth and the tools that they use, and it's all a part of the art, and it's just beautiful. So Dee has given us some shark's teeth motifs that's used a lot in their work, and I'm going to use the colour that I used in this pattern. I can't remember the name. I need to write this down, like, on the back when I get this framed. I need to write all the artists down, because Lehua uses a lot of earth pigments, so they're like really rich pigments alongside like this colour that I chose ahead of time. They use plant dyes as well, but they expressly said that they like the earth pigments. So I'll use it in one of these triangles that represent the shark's teeth. And I'm really excited about that. So I just did the two and a little bit with, this is Hayride by Gast, I think. It's what I used for like the henna on this one. And it's on 36 count latte by Fibronowin. So yeah, I think apparently October is going to be bigger, so I need to not wait so long in the month to do this. So this will be part of my plans as well, is to keep this out ready for October, do my learning quicker, and then get the stitching done. So yeah, I think I just love finding different artists, and I don't think I'm very artistic I'm autistic, not artistic. But when people say like that art speaks to me, like this is the type of art that speaks to me. So I really like that. So thank you again, Dee, for all your work in doing that, because it's amazing. So yeah, that was all the stitching that I'd done. So the plans are to keep my chatelaine out, keep Plants and Petrichor out, and Stitch Pride out. I feel like, you know, that's my saddles. And then when I get Kim's Brown Robin, that'll be in there as well. So that's already like 3 kind of commitments that I've got. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of want less commitments. The other thing that I was going to do yesterday, because it was the full moon, it was a super moon, I didn't get to see it, but was to work on my Aurora moon phase. God, look at that fabric. Oh, I love it so much. Aurora moon phase bell pull by Tiny Modernist. This is fabric by Kaylee at the sewing shop, and a group of us have all got our own little piece and are doing, this is 40 count that I'm doing it on, but lots of different fabric counts. So my plan with this was to stitch on it every new moon and full moon. So I should have stitched on it last night. I just didn't have the time. The energy. I need some energy. But also I'm gonna frog out this bottom chunky piece here because Megan had an idea. She hadn't started it yet, and then she had an idea to put a mousse in down here, and she's starting at the top. She has started now, I think she started it last night for the full moon. So I'm gonna, maybe I don't need to frog it out right now, maybe I'll frog it out later, but I'll frog it out and put the little mousse that she's given us all in there. I think I'll just unpick it and leave it in the negative, so it looks like I'm not going to stitch it in another colour. I'll just leave it. So it's like a ghost mousse in the trees. I don't know. But yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Because I do want that one to not get left behind. So doing it every, 2 weeks or so, depending on the moon. I'll get some progress on it. I should probably work on that one tonight, so it's done. Otherwise I'll leave it too long and then I'll have to work on it like kind of twice for the next one. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm so scattered now. And then the only thing I had left was my giveaway. This was a historical sampler company kit that I picked up at a National Trust used bookstore for £1. It's not something that I would stitch, but I thought one of you would like it. This is the acorn sampler. It's very cute. It's all in there together. So let me see who won. Zoe of Coco Creates. I've just followed you. So thank you for entering, and glad that I've found another Flosstuber to watch. So I will link Zoe below so you can go watch her too. And I will send this in the mail for you, Zoe. So congratulations. And thank you to everybody else that entered too. I think that's it. It's late in the day now, so I'll probably not get this up today, so it might be Friday by the time you're watching this, or whenever you watch it, in however long it takes you to get through your you'll watch later, because mine is very long at the minute, so I need to do some catch up too. I forget how I end these. Knew I had another thing to talk about. I had some Stitchy kindness. I put out a help me on my Instagram stories, because so I am signed up for the Sweary Stitches retreat next October in Newcastle. One, because it's like right here, I can get to it in like 10 minutes on the metro, but two, because it's at the hotel one of the hotels that I work for. So that'll be pretty funny. But yeah, so I was thinking about, you know, not that I need to start planning now, but having gone to my second retreat of Stitch North, I had the name badge that I stitched after Stitch North. So I'll be like, oh, I'll wear that at my next retreat. I think I need to go to more retreats. I need to be able to get places and afford to go to them more often. But anyway, I put the 2024 charm that we got in the goodie bag from Stitch North on my name tag, so I could be like, you know, collect the years that I went to a Stitchy retreat, so I'm going to need a 2025 one. But I wanted to find a 2022 one to mark my Floss Friends retreat that I went to. That was my first ever retreat. So I'm kind of backdating it, but that's fine. So I was like looking online for a 2022 charm, and they're really hard to find when it's past the year that it is, or past a couple of years. I think I found more 2023s, and then obviously lots of 24s, and some even 25s are coming out now. But yeah, I couldn't find a 2022 unless I bought like a big bulk pack, or I had to order it from America or whatever, and it was going to cost me a lot in shipping. So I was like, I'll just put a plea out and see if anyone's got, you know, one of these bulk packs and they've got some spare that they're not going to use anymore, and I would trade for it or whatever. So Erin came to my rescue and said, yeah, I've got one. So she sent me on a little letter, just like sellotaped in a letter. So I was like, you don't have to do anything fancy, just tape it. So it's exactly what I need to go on my my name tag. And she put her return address on it, on the letter. So I'm gonna find something. She said she didn't need anything particular, but I'm gonna kind of get some vibes, and see what of my stash needs to go to Erin. So I don't know if you watch Erin, but thank you so much if you do, and something will be on its way to you soon. So yeah, I think that's it now. Be nice. And free Palestine. Love you. Bye.